The UFC's annual pay-per-view at MSG is in the books. Being one of the major events of the UFC pay-per-view year, this card was stacked with amazing fights and talent and originally had booked the GOAT of MMA Jon Jones taking on Stipe Miocic, but the fight fell through due to an injury to Jon Jones, causing a shuffle of the card, which saw an interim heavyweight title fight made and the co-main event bumped up to the main event. Last year, UFC 281 at MSG delivered the fight card of 2022, so could UFC 295 and MSG repeat history and give us the card of the year again? This is the Fight Franchise and the recap and review of UFC 295. The early prelims got off to a quick start, with Dennis Bazookia taking on Jamal Emmers, where Emmers pressured forward early on, dropping Dennis and finishing him on the ground to get the TKO win within 50 seconds. A great way to start the card and set the tone for the rest of the night. The next fight, Joshua Van and Kevin Boras took on each other in a competitive bout in the flyweight division, where both men had a scrappy fight across the octagon, where Joshua Van did enough to win the decision. John Castaneda took on Kyung Ho Kang, where both guys took on each other in a back and forth fight, where Castaneda was too much for Kang to handle, where Castaneda won the fight and all 3 rounds. The final fight of the early prelims saw hometown Jared Gordon take on Mark Madsen. They both fought on the feet in a fun scrap, which was back and forth, but late into the first round, Gordon pushed Madsen up against the cage where he landed shots in close and threw a huge right hand which dropped Madsen and finished him on the ground to secure the great win after a tough last 2 fights, losing that controversial decision to Paddy Pimblett and also that no contest to Bobby Green. This was a great start to the card and some fun early prelims. The prelims began with the fight of the night, which was a fun back and forth war in the ultra stacked Shark Tank, which is the lightweight division, with Nazim Sadikov taking on Vyacheslav Borshev. The first round was pretty much fought on the feet, with Borshev doing the better work over the first round, landing more shots and the more significant shots, and some great leg kicks. The second round was wild, with Borshev getting rocked and dropped, where Sadikov on top landed some great elbows, where Sadikov spent the round battering Borshev, which was a 10-8 round for Sadikov. Borshev came back brilliantly in the last round and fought hard to steal the last round and secure a draw, which was a fair result in a super fun fight. Mateusz Rambecki took on short notice Roosevelt Roberts, where Rambecki took down Roberts and was doing work on the ground. Roberts did good getting up momentarily, only for Rambecki to drag down Roberts, where he would cinch up an armbar and get the brilliant submission win. The next fight from the brilliant women's strawweight division, Lupi Godinez took on Tabitha Ricci in a fight fought on the feet, where Godinez was the sharper and the more crisp of the two on the feet, where Godinez won the decision, though the scorecards did seem a bit all over the place. Alessandro Costa took on Steve Erceg, who only made his UFC debut 6 months ago. The two fought in a competitive fight where Erceg did the better over 3 rounds, however faced a tough time in the second round, getting dropped and facing some adversity. The scorecards across the board read 29-28 for Erceg, who is now 2-0 in the UFC. This brought the end to the prelims and took us on to the main card. The main card began with Diego Lopez taking on Pat Sabatini, where Lopez put on a brilliant display for the New York crowd. Sabatini would go for a takedown where they would scramble, where getting back up Lopez rocked Sabatini, sending him down and finishing him with ground strikes to secure the amazing win and start to the main card. Lopez has had a brilliant year being competitive with Movsar Evloev on short notice and submitting Gavin Tucker, and now this, Lopez is becoming a fan favourite with his entertaining all-action fight style and will definitely be a fighter to keep an eye on in 2024, and let's hope he gets some big fights on some big pay-per-views next year. Matt Frevola took on Benoit Saint Denis in a fight which would help bolster and hopefully bring the new contender in the lightweight division. The two fought on the feet where Frevola was throwing kicks and Saint Denis fired back with his own kicks and was taken down. This led to some grappling when Saint Denis reversed the position and both men was back on their feet. And Saint Denis threw a vicious head kick and sent Frevola crashing to the canvas and landed some follow-up shots to secure the amazing stoppage win. Saint Denis called out a bunch of fighters and I can't wait to see what's next for him. Hopefully another huge fight on a pay-per-view, maybe even on UFC 300 if he is willing to wait till then. Another fight from the women's strawweight division with Jessica Andrade taking on Mackenzie Dern. The fight was pretty much fought on the feet, where Andrade had the much more crisp striking compared to Dern, who isn't just as comfortable in the striking, where Andrade over 2 rounds put on a great display where she dropped Dern multiple times throughout the fight, securing the eventual TKO finish. Andrade is slowly becoming a legend of women's MMA, taking on so many great fighters and challengers, similar to RDA, where she is building a resume of who's who in the women's MMA and securing some amazing stoppage wins over the years, and this win was a brilliant way to end a 3-fight losing streak for her. The co-main event saw a short notice fight put together, with Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic falling through. The UFC managed to put on an interim title fight between Tom Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich, where they squared off in a fight which was done in just over a minute. Both men would trade on the feet, where Aspinall was the noticeably faster fighter of the two, where he was bouncing in and out, throwing the occasional leg kick. Sergey at one point did tag Aspinall, but Tom was managing his range well, well, where eventually Aspinall threw a huge punch which landed on the temple of Pavlovich, which scrambled his equilibrium, where Aspinall followed up and dropped Pavlovich and finished him with huge shots on the ground to become the interim heavyweight champion. This was an amazing win and moment which gives us huge movement in the heavyweight division and is a great win for English MMA and fighters. Let's hope the heavyweight division will see more fighters come through and talent thrive, and fingers crossed we see Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones sometime next year. The main event was a highly anticipated fight of two wild fighters, with Jiří Procházka taking on Alex Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight title. The showdown of this fight was epic, with both guys before the fight staring at each other through Bruce Buffer's intro. The fight kicked off where Pereira was doing great on the feet, landing brutal calf kicks, which compromised Jiří's legs, where he began to switch stances and towards the end of the first round wrestled in an attempt to win the round and not take any more damage on the feet. The second round Pereira threw more leg kicks, but Jiří had more success on the feet, with his unorthodox striking and committing to his punches more, landing some great shots. Jiří would land some shots backing up Pereira where he would be caught by a counter left hook, dropping him where Pereira elbowed Jiří where he fell back and went limp for a second, and Mark Goddard jumped in and called the fight in what looked like an early stoppage as Jiří got up straight away. Nonetheless, Alex would now become a two-way world champion in the UFC and Jiří would face his first loss in the promotion. Credit to Alex, who has achieved so much great things in MMA already, and hopefully some cool fights for him coming soon, as he just called out Israel Adesanya. As for Jiří, he was gracious in defeat and made no excuses, and if I'm being honest, I would love to see this fight run back again. That brought the end to a really fun night of fights. Credit to all the fighters for putting on an amazing show and entertainment for us fans. Even in Jon Jones' absence, the card delivered some amazing fights and memorable moments and stoppage victories. The main card was one of the best of the year. It was just unfortunate the way the card ended with the seemingly early stoppage. Nonetheless, if we are going to grade the pay-per-view, it gets an A. A real fun card which had so much action throughout. The only thing that really let this card down was how the main event ended, which is no knock on the fighters, just Mark Goddard's decision. But even with the early stoppage, it gave us Alex Pereira's second title in another weight class, which is one of the moments of the year. With one pay-per-view left which has been stacked from top to bottom, UFC 296 has the potential of becoming an instant classic. Did you enjoy the video? Let us know down in the comments below. What would you grade UFC 295 as a pay-per-view? And what was your review of the pay-per-view? Put that down in the comments below. And did you think it was an early stoppage in the main event? Put that down in the comments below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video and subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video and we'll catch you in the next one.